I didn't walk in expecting a masterpiece, but I did walk in expecting a near masterpiece. And I was going to take no less as an answer, as a result, as an experience. That was the unfair amount of expectation I walked in with. And one of the GOATs, one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, Gautham Vasudev Menon, delivered. Vendhu Thanindhathu Kaadu, directed by Gautham Vasudev Menon, written by Jay Mohan and Gautham Vasudev Menon, starring Silambarasan, music by A.R Rahman. This was a transcending, immersive cinematic experience. This this is my Tamil cinema. This was truly a beautiful masterclass in filmmaking. The reason why I love Gautham Menon and I have such an affection towards him as a artist, he knows what he's making and he never compromises. He goes all the way through and delivers to the audience and let the audience speak for him. Especially coming off, for some may call a rough patch, even though for me this isn't a Gautham Menon comeback because I loved Enninoki Payam Tota. Most people didn't. I'm one of those four people who loved Enninoki Payam Tota. I'm aware. But many people are calling this as Gautham Menon's comeback, although I do not take part in that, but I do understand that perspective and where is that coming from. Keeping that perspective in mind and that talk in mind amongst the audience, for GVM to really break rules and push boundaries, unapologetically execute this story in a beautiful character journey that leads to something massive, it is truly astonishing to me. The last time I had goosebumps, this many moments of goosebumps in a Tamil film, was years ago. There's so many moments in this film where he would hold shots. He will let scenes breathe. He truly wants us to be a witness to Muthu's journey. And you are in it every step of the way. Every thought process, every look. This is a film that exceeds in every component of filmmaking to me. When there is exposition, when the rules are needs to be set, Gautham Menon was able to execute that in such a engaging and emotionally immersive ways possible because everything is earned. There's nothing in this film that is given to us that is not earned. When there's a moment two characters are speaking, and this is a moment where we gotta establish the rules that are set in this world, what is actually going on. When those moments happen, it is very intentionally executed with the way it's edited, with the way the camera is moving, and the moment at which those scenes come about. So you're never disengaged because sometimes, in most cases, exposition can be the death of emotion. Information can cut the engagement an audience can have within a story. So every time there was a moment in which the character needs to explain what's going on, it is precisely written, efficiently written, which would be a better word, and it is earned. And you want to know more. You engage into every single word that's spoken on screen. But on the other end of it, it is also a masterclass in visual storytelling. The way Silambarasan, STR, Simbu was able to portray this character, be this character, and to show so much of his evolution to be operated internally was a pleasure to experience. A.R Rahman's score was another character. The man is and always gonna be in his prime. It is insane. He is another cast member to this film, to this story. Cinema is a visual medium. It's all about putting images together. And that is where you should mostly rely on, not the dialogues, is the visual storytelling. It is the performances the actors are delivering without saying a single word. And Simbu could stand in a spot and you can feel everything that's going on in between those eyes. The way he moves, the way he holds himself. Every minute detail is so precisely executed and crafted and performed, yet nothing feels like it's staged. Everything feels authentic. It feels honest. Yet it is done in a scale in which I enjoy. Because the film doesn't feel small. It feels grounded. It feels real. It feels tangible. Yet the scale is big, which is what I really love. And not many filmmakers can pull this off, because when the scale gets bigger and you have an idea of a gangster theme comes in, you might feel certain urges to pop in and do some mass, exciting moments. No, Gautham Menon always plays within a specific zone that always serves the character and his journey. And his journey is the story. And us, it's a goddamn feast. And I loved every single second and moments. I'm somebody who really vibes with Gautham Menon's filmmaking and the way he utilizes songs. Songs are essentially another version of dialogues. He makes every theoretical mundane scenes exciting. There could be scenes with two characters are introducing themselves. There could be scenes two characters are meeting for the first time. Yet he would use interesting element to make the camera work interesting, the editing interesting, the moments interesting, for him to constantly reinvent himself through the visual medium and not relying too much on some over the top elements. That's what makes him respect and love him more and more and more. And this film is another fine example. I was completely immersed into this world and character to the point I wanted another hour of this. The first half of the film felt like a breeze. The pacing was beautiful. It was like you're on a middle of an ocean in a small boat and the wind and the waves are taking you on a journey. It is so beautifully executed. There was a beautiful rhythm in which Gautham Menon operated that first half, because it is fully world building. You have to really feel Muthu's thought process and his quote unquote transformation. But it is a transformation, or is it a circumstance he has to deal and survive within? And where that leads to is absolutely fascinating. In the second half, every time I'm expecting, is this heading to a cliche direction? Gautham Menon delivers a unique execution, a slight subtle twist. He plays on that genre. He always keeps you guessing. The mystery in which he was able to operate in the second half, once Muthu has somewhat accepted his fate. How do you make that interesting? And how do you still make that character evolve and question themselves, yet show the utmost confidence into who he is, because he is special. He is built different. So to be able to showcase the element of this dude is for real. He ain't like the rest of them, yet keeping him grounded. The magic, the balance. I hope and I wish that people truly understand how tough that truly is. Where he could have taken this character to a level of a KGF vibe, for a RRR over the top vibe, which those films work for what they are, but for him to constantly have that level of fire and potential, yet keep him grounded, keep him real, keep him complex, yet not confused. It is so freaking fascinating. Gautham Menon has definitely transcended as a filmmaker with this film, but I do not think this is his best work yet. It is close. This may potentially become that. I think we gotta give more time because it is a near masterpiece, but for me, Vendhu Thanindhathu Kaadu is still his masterpiece. I think that movie is flawless, right? Y'all know how much I love Vendhu Thanindhathu Kaadu, so that is still goated. But this is a close second. No doubt in my mind. I've heard many people say this film is outside Gautham Menon's zone. If you're one of those people who truly believes that, I would say you ain't been watching, bro. You haven't been watching. Because for me, this is still purely Gautham Menon, just the other side of the coin. And that coin and the other side of that coin is fresh. It is hot. And this is the first fire. And there is lots more to come. And as a fan of cinema in general, as a fan of Tamil cinema, as a fan of GVM, that truly makes me happy. I don't want to go too deep into the philosophical, layered, nuanced elements to the film because this is a special movie in which every single individual will have their own personal cinematic experience. And that is the beauty of this greatness. So I don't want to get too deep into that. Maybe I'll do a live stream spoiler talk and we can go deep into certain scenes and what some of the imagery meant to me and what it spoke to me. But that is for myself right now. I'm going to keep it for myself. I will be watching this movie a ton, but we'll discuss more about this because this is easily, as you can tell, as you may predict, my favorite Indian film of the year, my favorite Tamil film of the year, and it is not close. And we still got a bunch of greatness coming up real soon in a couple of weeks. But right now, this is probably my second favorite film of the year in general, only next to The Northman. Northman is number one. It's my favorite film of the year. And then you got Vendhu Thanindhathu Kaadu Part 1, and then Top Gun Maverick. So those are like my top three right now. With all that said, I think we can safely say I love this movie. All right? I think we can say I love this movie. I can now wait for part two. It does feel large in scale, but the same approach is going to be laid within because it's GVM. I know how he operates, and it's going to look beautiful. It's going to be bigger, but it's still going to be very tangible, very honest, and very authentic, and very grounded. And we're going to have some badass moments. Like, don't get me wrong. There's some scenes in here. Ooh, goosebumps. Goosebumps, man. Because this character, as much of an innocent being that Muthu is, he is also a freaking badass, which is a brilliant balance and take. Man, this is it, man. This movie is my jam. This movie is made for me. That's how I'm going to look at it. This movie is made purely and solely for me, and I'm happy. That's all I care about. With all that being said, guys, let me know what y'all thought of this film on the comments down below. What was your experience like? Like I mentioned earlier, every individual will have their own unique experience, things that affected them, impacted them, got them, engaged them. I think many scenes would have worked differently for many people because a lot of it is internal and executed through beautiful execution, directed by GVM, music by Rahman. On top of it all, STR really pulling it off because you can set up the lighting, you can have a great music, the camera's on point, everything is good, but if the actor can't pull that off, to be able to say so much without uttering a single word. And Silambarasan deserves a national award for this one. That's how incredible and transcending he was. Anyways, I can go on forever. As you can tell, this video is super long. I gotta edit the hell out of this to make it somewhat excited to watch. But we'll go on a long talk during my live stream for this. Spoilers live stream. Look forward to that. And if y'all are interested in it, and if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If y'all enjoyed hearing my thoughts, leave it a thumbs up, and see y'all on my next one. Sully.